Hello, hello, everybody. Yo, everybody. Hi. How's it going? I guess we'll go ahead and get started with introductions. My name is Justin,
Mark,
and watching or listening to episode 483 of DangIT Prodcast. Welcome back, everybody. Mark, how's your week been?
oh, it's been all right. How's yours been?
It's been good. It's the first week, like, kind of getting back into, like, work mode, and I thought it was going to be worse. It wasn't as bad.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Actually, quick update on your end. I was curious about, like, the job searching on your front.
It slowed down though. I'm still looking. I haven't been looking as hard. I need to get back on that. I've been a bit
Mm,
lazy on that just a little bit recently, so I'm trying to get
that,
back on that.
that's
But
fair.
but but I've been trying, just trying to find something with benefits.
Ah, okay, I see. I'm guessing GameStop doesn't have benefits.
They don't have benefits.
Damn, dude. Would you
They,
like if benefits wasn't like an issue for you? Would you actually reconsider jumping back into like GameStop?
I would consider it. Yeah,
Be-
just because I know like when I was there, I played less games when I was working there, so that's where I was like,
hmm. Oh, I see. I see. Man, dude, the stories.
true. It is good for the stories.
Yeah, when it's like, yeah, you guys, there's just like one day. It's literally like once a month or something like that.
But basically, I mean, essentially, stuff's always going on there.
Gotcha, gotcha. Were you ever there for like midnight releases for games, or was that just like a short period of time where you never had that?
I never worked a midnight release. I was there at that GameStop for at during midnight releases, but I never worked a midnight release.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, dude. I guess it's a little bit different now than how it was like back then as far as midnight releases. I'm just glad to have the memories of it, but they still kind of exist, just like for like the bigger titles, certainly.
Eh, not like it used to be though.
Yeah, and I guess it also depends on location. When we were over at Vegas during the release of like Mario Wonder and Spider-Man 2, that area just wasn't really booming. There was just like a handful of people, and we just ended up just being inside the GameStop, just waiting for like the timer. And then it was just like, first come, first serve. There was no real like actual like numbers to really be bothered with. So it just kind of worked out like for us in that favor. But it's kind of empty over there. I could have sworn. Well, it might just depend if people like even populated that area or not. I thought that TwitchCon at that time would actually like boost those numbers up a little bit, but all right, all right. How about games that you've been playing so far? Feels like you've been pretty preoccupied with a couple things.
Yeah, I haven't been playing too much. Well, I've been playing games. I just haven't been playing anything like that I've been wanting to play necessarily because of like money.
Oh yes.
I've mostly been playing I've mostly been playing like a lot of free stuff. I've been doing
Mm.
what else have I been doing? Let me look at my Steam. I've been doing Lethal Company that my friend got me.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I did that. Played. A friend was doing a community thing, so we played Goose Goose Duck.
Goose Goose Duck.
Yeah, which is like Duck Among Us.
Okay, okay, I see that.
Yeah, a little bit of Gunfire Reborn, a little bit
Okay,
of Smite,
good, good.
some Yu-Gi-Oh,
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh,
Yu-Gi-Oh!
but some what else? A little bit of fighters here and there.
But oh yeah, yeah. With the new updated netcode, right?
Oh, there's the beta for it. I'm not in the beta, right? I'm not in the beta, but the
Oh,
beta
okay.
is going right now.
Oh, okay, I didn't really know which one was actually like the thing, but if it was a beta, then all right, fair enough. Man, dude,
What
that
about
game.
you? I've assumed you've mostly been doing like for your streams. You've mostly been doing like, if I'm not mistaken, you were still doing the Trails series.
I was, yeah. Dude, it was. It also has to do with like my stream schedule, but that game in particular took a long time to clear through. But I did clear it before December rolled through. Finished Trails in the Sky SC, which is the second chapter. That's a follow up to like the first chapter I did, and wrapped up on like earlier this year. But I'm done with that. I'm free of it for a little bit. Just taking the extra time now to jump into streaming Mario RPG, which honestly gives me a better impression than I did from the original game. I was in a circumstance where I didn't actually like have like the game on me. I was able to just try it out, and it just never hooked on me, the original. And I was trying to figure out like, exactly why was it. Was I just not interested? I think I ultimately was, but there was some other factors that played into it. Like I think the presentation wasn't as good as I would have liked it to be. But that's all really changed, like jumping into it. Now that I'm a little bit more heavy on the RPG aspect of games, I like it for what it is, but I also like all the little touch ups that they've done. I think for the sake of it being a shorter game, I think the pacing being as kind of short fired as it is, works out for me. So that's something I could probably wrap up if I put in a respective number of hours before the end of next week. It might even be something I could like add to my listings of games I cleared or added to like top 10 game of the year stuff, which is something actually I would like to remind everybody that we're going to actually have our game of the year, our personal game of the year thing happening, I believe on Friday on the 8th. So stay tuned for that one. We are going to be watching the Game Awards themselves on Thursday too. Not sure if we're going to stream that or we'll try to figure something out beforehand. But we're currently organizing something for that. Um, but yeah, no. So TLDR, yeah, I finished Trails in the Sky SC. Currently playing through Mario RPG. It's kind of a slow like grind like through games, but it's certainly a direction forward. But I've been enjoying it so far,
Right.
and the games just keep on coming. I have one pickup on me, and I definitely just did this one because it's a little bit more Pokemon related, or at least in some of the elements. So I was like, okay, I'll just pick it up for now, and then we'll see like how it plays out. Might even be a good thing for me to just kind of branch out as far as short form content over on TikTok, because although Pokemon's coming out, oh, I mean the new DLC, the Indigo Disc, that's coming out a little over a week from now. That's on the 14th. So it's literally the week following after the Game Awards. Yeah,
Right.
so I'll definitely be into that, but at some point I know that Pokemon, as far as just like doing some news coverage about it, is probably gonna die for that channel. So I need to start branching out to other stuff. So prepping stuff on that end. But yeah, no. I've also been thinking about, I mean, at this point I think I've accrued a fair bit of money, but I want to talk to a couple of people who have a little bit more experience with that. About like home buying. So we'll see. I know I made a plan that's like, okay, by next year, 2024, then we'll probably jump into that, but I definitely need to do a little bit of research and also just talk
Yeah,
to people about it.
yeah, I was gonna say it also. I mean, I assume you're trying to. I'm assuming you're trying to stay in California.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I was
first
gonna
thing,
say
yeah, because
that's
yeah,
that's gonna make it real expensive.
it's gonna be really tough because like it'd be cool if I could just like keep working my usual job. It's still like a hybrid approach, so I have to be there. So I'm trying to keep it where like I can still make it there like within 30 minutes of a commute because right now it's pretty close. But yeah, it's gonna be tough. I'm just looking at the prices of houses on like Zillow, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, it's like this is unreal. And then the ones that are actually pretty low either look like dirt or actually just kind of in weird places, or they're just acres of land. I'm like, huh? All right. I guess I could put like one of
Well,
those
right.
capsule homes.
Capsule homes.
Have you seen those? Like they're kind of intense looking. I kind of like them, but I ultimately wouldn't want to go for that.
You're like, you see, I'm interested, but I don't think I will.
Yeah, I think my mindset's kind of towards like more traditional housing. Um, and I guess I can't really be helped because of like where I currently like live. Just
Hey, yo, this look like the future.
it does, doesn't it? I'm like it's kind of dope, but like
What is
I
a
don't.
Subnautica?
I think that might attract too much attention, and people will just be
It
way too drawn to it.
it legit looks like something out of Subnautica.
You know what? I never even like thought about it like that, but yeah, you're right. Like honestly, like once you like walk into like your area, I think you're just like spawned into that area and you look outside of it and you're like, "Oh." And then you compare it to like the capsule home and you're like, "Oh."
Is it cheap?
Uh, I think it kind of is, like in comparison to like a full blown house, I would say.
Yeah, it's scary to say because this is essentially they just deliver you a house.
Yeah. But then the issue is that like you actually need to have like a plot of land to place that on. So
I
uh,
mean, plots of land usually tend to be cheaper than whole houses.
this is true, but it's like one of those things where like you'll buy a house and you might have to consider like the money to renovate like said house if it's like a little bit more dated or you just prefer other things on it. And in this case, it's like, well, you buy a plot of land and you have to like pay to possibly clear it up, or you just use your own time and resource for that. And then that's where like that things could be like placed. So if there's any additional money just going into just like clearing out like that plot of land, you have to consider that too.
I mean, on top of this, if you wanted, I guess if you wanted an add-on, you could just after a while you could just try investing in another edition.
Hmm. I guess so.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming. I'm assuming because I don't know how you would go about like if you wanted to add stuff onto this to these capsule homes. I'm trying to think of like how would you like say if you wanted an expansion, how would you go about that?
You start by drilling a hole.
First, you drill a hole.
But yeah,
Like,
no.
would you? They
Mm,
should think about that. Like, they could build. They could build like an attachment.
like I think there's some that are actually like modular in that way.
Ooh,
That's like, ooh, that's the future. That's Link's home right there in Tears of the Kingdom. Forget like a whole standard home. You get a modular one and it works.
Model O5 capsule intelligent mobile prefabricated tiny house.
Yeah, I think you're looking at the one that I was looking at. I've been seeing it like on TikTok, so I was like, I'm curious
That
about that.
actually doesn't look bad.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. I was like, maybe this is it.
It's a little small, but not bad.
Yeah, I think
Like
my
this.
mm,
This would be. This could work for a couple or one person. It just depends.
yeah, I've been like tossing up. Well, I mean, obviously we see the modular like capsule home, and I'm like, that's kind of cool. I'm not entirely sure yet, but otherwise, I was looking at just other homes that have just been kind of established. Anything that's a little bit small because it's only going to be me for a little bit, and then I don't know. I'm not sure like when condos became like part of the equation, but like I started looking into those ones. I was like, that's actually pretty cool. But if it's roughly the same price as like buying a house, and like, maybe I should just
Con-
like lean towards the house.
condos can be pretty nice, or you could go for a townhouse. Apparently you can own a townhouse. I didn't know you could own a townhouse.
Could you own a townhouse? Because like my brother's in a townhouse, but of course it's rent specifically.
I have heard of people like it's like we were with our photographer. We went to go to meet our wedding photographer for dinner last night. She said her mother-in-law actually owns her townhouse. I was like, huh?
Huh? I mean, that's
I
kind
was
of
like, you can.
crazy.
I was like, you can do that?
Wild stuff. I don't know. I think condos are cool in the sense that like I think that fits my lifestyle a little bit more in the sense that I don't really want to like I don't really want any type of like stuff outside or have a backyard or anything like that. I can do without that. And I relatively need like a small space. And I think that'd be like cool with me, but I think when I think long term, I don't think that's really like in the cards ultimately. Moreover, like just an actual house would. So I'm kind of leaning towards that. So good luck to me on that front. I'll definitely need to be talking to a couple people. My cousin's actually moved into well, my cousin and her fiance moved into a new house. Like it's like a brand new house. And I was like, "Oh, this is actually pretty nice." So I was thinking like, well, considering your guys like financial like situation, I'm wondering like how that came about. And I'm still relatively new, so I don't really know every single process that goes into like buying the house or even just like getting quotes or understanding like what type of down payment you're going to end up having and the interest and everything like that. So yeah, I just need to talk to people. I want to just learn more about that.
You see, the only thing that's throwing me off is how cheap these things are. That's where I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's too. What's wrong with them?
Like, what's the condition? Like, what's the
Yeah, no,
catch?
it's like, well, it really is. What's the catch?
Mm-hmm.
Because you know,
The shipping.
you, you you know what they. Well, it's because you know what they say. Like it's the whole like. Oftentimes it's sad, but if it's too good to be true, chances are it is.
I find that to be very true, unless it's someone that kind of personally, and they're like trying to help you out legitimately. Then Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
get that.
different, but most of the time, if you don't know them, chances are there it's probably more than likely that it's like, too way too good to be true.
This is true, and this is also like the case whenever you're talking to like people about this type of situation, like professional people. Like what was it, like a mortgage lender, and you have to call a couple of them in the area instead of just the one, just to make
Or
sure.
the rest of them all just offer you this tiny bit. You go to other one, they offer you so much more. You're like, ugh.
Honestly, I've been seeing. Obviously, I can't do it, but like I've been seeing a lot of TikToks about. It's all TikTok at this point, but just like because of just searches like online, it's just kind of curating them to like cheaper homes, but they're all in Arizona or Texas. And I'm
I
like,
know they all just go out of state. I'm like, thanks.
I thanks, but I cannot do that.
It's like, thanks for showing me cheaper houses, but they're not where I wanted them.
Yeah, they look nice though, so props. So yeah, that's the current predicament. So I'll be talking to people like over the course. I mean, I'll go also share this bit of information, but apparently, the good times to buy a house, like given the date and time and the seasons and like any type of holidays, is actually November, December, and January. Because I think it's just an ultimately like thing where like no one wants to deal with it during the holidays. So there's chances where you'll get like a better chance at like having a house. But I'm not gonna be too pushy about that. I'm still trying to save up, so even now, but I think I have a fair amount that I can like start looking into it like legitimately. But again, gotta talk to people. That's definitely gonna be a story for another day. Um, but yes, I guess talk about
So,
things. Hmm.
someone just pointed out something I didn't realize. Someone
Hmm.
said that's a good look for the capsule house. It said that's a good looking trailer home.
It ultimately is like a very large
I was
trailer
gonna
home.
say, it essentially is a trailer.
Yeah, that ultimately maybe that's just it. Maybe I don't know if they.
Someone said, "Put me on a mountainside in Virginia with the capsule house." I could see it.
Would you?
My a mountainside,
I
bro.
mean,
I ain't trying to fuck with the black bears. You forget we have those here.
oh, that's true. That's true.
In the mountains, they're in the mountains. They may not be where I'm at. They're in the mountains though.
Oh, they. Now, see, the mountains are theirs. That's theirs.
Mountains have bears. They have bobcats. They have coyotes.
Like on for them, that's their housing. Their mortgage is literally their life expectancy.
Their mortgage is just whatever the fuck they want it to be.
I don't know. Do you want to hunt today?
You want to hunt today? No, I don't really feel like it.
You want to eat? Want
Goodness
food?
gracious, food.
I guess technically speaking, like, listen, if you wanted to live without having to pay anything, you could just go out there.
I think this is a good option. This is a good option if you're just looking to have a roof over your head and you don't have enough money.
Yeah. I mean, the housing market and just like housing situations in California like are an entirely different topic where like sometimes the best solution isn't like to build more houses of like this certain price up here, but maybe we make more affordable housing somehow. I'm not sure how they'll do it, but
Oh,
yeah.
hey, check this out. Prefabricated outdoor home for sleeping modular prefabricated mobile container house, luxury modern capsule house for sale. And it says 43,000. Like, oh, that's more affordable.
That seems affordable, doesn't it?
Shipping $135,000.
That's where they get you. But I guess it's still 100,000.
Yeah,
It's not like 700,000.
good. Gotcha. Yeah, just talking to my dad.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know. I was looking at houses and I was like, well, there's certainly affordable ones that I can imagine like just kind of getting by with. I wouldn't be like so comfortable about it as far as like thinking about my life like from like a year to like 15 years down the line. Would I like be comfortable with it? But
You could
uh
stay in that for a few years.
you could. But I am really ultimately thinking long term. Well, not like to the end of my life, but like fairly long term.
I'm just
And
wondering how you go about getting power established.
oh, for that guy, I'm pretty sure you can get something set up. I'm pretty sure like you talk to the people who are like installing that, and they'll probably let you know.
Like they'd have to set up a fuse box. They'd have to run the wires to it to a transformer that's nearby.
Yeah, yeah, that or you get a lot of portable sunlight.
I
You
was gonna
get
say, out of that, you just buy a generator.
yeah, that I guess that works too. Yeah, just get like solar panels like everywhere, things that you could just like place wherever you want, and then you just hook that up to a generator or something like that. Yeah.
I'd be trying to think about what kind of generator you'd need though. One that's not gonna be, because my family's owned generators before. Those things are loud as shit.
Oh, damn.
These are.
That's go class rep, but like perpetually. Like
Just a
it's run by three Idas. Oh,
three heaters. Just
they're like all right, what if I got
it's
like 100,000 like hamsters, and we had
100
hundreds of thousands of hamster wheels? Follow me? And
100,000
then
hamster.
and we hooked them all up to the generator.
Now let's see here.
Or
Well,
you
it,
know those portable like treadmill like places that, or at least yeah, those I guess buses or whatever have you, and their services to give like dogs an opportunity to start running on a treadmill.
I have seen those. I have seen they do make they you can buy dog treadmills now.
Yeah. I think it's a great thing for the dogs just to let loose energy. Obviously, there's like another side of people's like opinions about it, but I mean they enjoy it. So I mean, as long
I,
as they have a
I,
time opportunity to stop, then
if it works, it works.
nah. But yeah, but what if? Yeah, kind of looking into that. I guess shifting the topic just a little bit. Things that are happening now. Obviously, the Game Awards is just around the corner. Phil's been busy trying to make up his top 10 listing. I'm currently busy just trying to catalog every single game and put it onto a spreadsheet because I've not been updating that quite a bit. And I think I updated my physical like Switch library, but the other libraries of other platforms are still need to be updated. And right now I'm just like, okay, which I'm at a point where it's like, what are the games that I cleared through? Excuse me, burping.
That's me right now. It's like because I haven't been able to buy too many games in the later part of this year, so I'm just trying to remember what the fuck did I play when I could.
Right. See, this is the hard part because like if you really want to make something like elaborate, like as an end of the year type of like review of all the games you played through the past year, you kind of have to be on it. um, let's see. Actually, I think I have everything somewhat listed here. I only have a couple handful of like games I've like cleared through this past year that I
I
can
guess you
see.
don't have. I guess you don't have to have cleared through them necessarily.
I mean, well, yeah, I guess not. Like as long as you play through them and you've like enjoyed that, because that's the thing too. Because obviously there's like free to play service games for sure, and
Or if you
that
even just playing them in general, I would say.
that's true. But I
Like,
have
hey,
a,
if you played the game and it's one of your favorite games of the year, I say, yeah, that counts.
I think so too, and I think because of like how loose we are with our personal top tens and what like what's incorporated, or even like how big our listings are individually, I think that works.
Even
So
for some where it's like, hey, this may not be a new game of the year, but if it was one of your favorite games of the year, that counts.
yeah, and I think that's ultimately what we have for our listings here. I have a couple here. I don't know if this will probably not be the ultimate list, but I have here listed that I cleared through like Azure like Striker Gunvolt 3. I forgot that was this year. A game called Kogan Sort of Rewind, Fire Emblem Engage, um, Gunvolt Chronicles. That's the guy, the alternative guy. That's number two. Skull the Hero Slayer. Trails in the Sky 1, second chapter I just cleared. A spin-off to the Legend of Heroes series, Nayuta Boundless Trails. I finished that. Tears of the Kingdom, of course, and The Messenger, which was an indie title from Sabotage Studios that made Sea of Stars. So, oh, that's fun. That's 10. I'll just make that top 10. But yeah, no. Just want to make sure I have like everything listed here. So currently, I've just been working on that list of every single game under the sun that I have like under this roof. Fun stuff. And I guess I'll go ahead and just like show this one off as like the game pickup of the week. We have Dragon Quest Monsters, The Dark Prince. So we have this guy. I just picked him up. Apparently, it was the only copy left at my store. I was like, oh, really?
I didn't realize it was that popular.
Yeah, same here. I felt like there wasn't a lot of good promotion for this game. There was like only like maybe the stuff revealed at like a Nintendo Direct, which I mean that's still a good spot to be. And then their own personal like trailer overview, and then there was like a launch trailer, and I think that was kind of it. Um, but I mean, this could also be like the hardcore Dragon Quest like fans out there, just getting every single like spin-off title too. Um, but I did recognize that like when I first saw this like on Nintendo Direct, it didn't really look too great performance wise, I would say. But then they kind of changed it up a little bit to both visually look good and also perform pretty well decent in their follow up trailer. So I got really curious. And obviously, there's a lot of Pokemon aspects to it that I recognize. So I'm like, okay, yeah, for sure. And again, I was saying earlier that this would actually be a really good opportunity. This would be one of those games where I'd be like, okay, well, this is kind of like Pokemon. As someone who hasn't played Dragon Quest before, like legitimately, um, let's just see how this one plays out. So hopefully that could be something I can like turn around into content over on the TikTok side of things.
Right.
But yeah, I was gonna ask Mark, as far as like a personal listing on your end. It doesn't have to be forced for you to like make a spreadsheet of your own and list games off. But would you say there's any games that you've been kind of keeping, well, just keeping in mind of this past year that you played through that you would honestly say is your best game like of the past year?
Uh, I'm trying to think about that. There's definitely games that I've enjoyed a lot this year. I'm just trying to think of like which, because I know for a fact that Survivor's probably going to be among them.
Survivors. Was that
Yes, Jedi
oh,
Survivor.
Jedi Survivor. Okay, got it.
That's definitely amongst some of my favorites for sure.
For sure.
What else was
I'm a
there?
survivor. I'm gonna
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
oh my god. If that was
But
the alternative opening.
right, but like probably that along with what else? What else came out that I was actually able to play this year? Probably Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, that definitely came out November of last year. It just hit its well, wait, did it hit its anniversary? Well, it did. Yeah, it
Yeah, it
did.
still counts as this year.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
At least by the Game Award standards, it does.
For sure, right? Because at some point, like Mario, like some Mario World or RPG gets cut off. Dragon Quest just came out like this past week, so it wouldn't like be considered. I think that was the thing about Xenoblade Chronicles 2, even that came out a little bit too late. But yeah, that's fair.
And what else? What else would be considered? What else would I consider for this year? Trying to think.
Mm-hmm.
Think.
Oh damn! Octopath Traveler 2 did come out this year. I didn't. I played it, but like not enough. And I'm like,
me thinking. Well, I was finally able to play fucking Final Fantasy VII remake.
I mean, that counts for sure. Like in our personal top 10 for sure.
Like I finally was able to play it, so
I mean, how much fun did you have with it?
I enjoyed it very much.
Good, good. It's really good. And you know what? That got me really hyped up about like Rebirth too. I'm like, bro, they're putting so much into it.
And I would love to say 16, but I gotta wait a bit longer for that.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, I guess I would actually be like on this listing as well.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised you wouldn't say 16.
I think I have mine stuff filtered like for Switch for some reason. But yeah, that's definitely one that.
For the Switch specifically?
Yeah, because I was adding the stuff over here, and I have multiple tabs that I'm working with. So I think I had it filtered to just Switch titles. But I should definitely like open up to like PlayStation, and Xbox,
PlayStation, Xbox, PC, all of it.
all of it, all of it.
Everything.
Hmm. Ah, no, man, that sucks because of all the games I cleared through, there's also Taylor Rises 3 that also came out this past year, and it was early in 2023. And I played a little bit, but then I ultimately shifted over to other games too. That's just not a good release window, but it's still good.
Natalia Rise. Oh yeah, they did come out.
Hmm. It's crazy because I think there was another. Yeah, there was the Atelier Marie that came out as well. It was the one that just didn't really have physical over in the US, but you could get one through Play Asia. Uh, but in addition to that, they also released another one, but it's gonna be a free to play one. It's a mobile slash Steam release. So I was
And
like,
you're wondering how you can play it with those watching? Well, you can get that with today's sponsor, Zen Market. I'm kidding.
whoa! I mean, are they down?
If only, right?
Did they reach out through email? Is it in my spam? Do I have to check my spam? One of these days we'll have an actual like funny sponsorship, and it's like, no, it's for real.
No, we're actually dead ass this time.
Are you being? No, cyborg. I'm neither the ass or the dead. I'm neither dead
I'm
or the
neither
ass.
the ass. I am neither the dead nor the ass.
My God.
That absolutely sounds like something she would say.
Mm.
Absolutely something Starfire would say.
100%. Actually, I'm checking the full listings here. Oh yeah, that's so weird. It isn't listed here. I really have just not been like updating my list at all up until now, because I don't even see any Final Fantasy showing up here, and I'm like, bro, I need to fix that. I I did my
I suppose I could put Final Fantasy 14.
oh yeah, would you say that you played through like a fair chunk of it to be like, okay, I kind
I
of
at least I at least played through A Realm Reborn,
fair enough. Yeah, you
which is
could
the
probably,
initial
yeah,
campaign.
I guess you can then write down like, a Realm Reborn, specifically Final Fantasy 14. I guess does that actually include all the other like added content for stuff later on? Or is it just kind of in a way where they cut off some of the resources they get later on? So all of it kind of like stays within a Realm Reborn.
There's Realm Reborn, and then the other things they have for free are it's Realm Reborn, and then they also have Heaven's Sword and Stormblood. And I've completed up to right before I start Heaven's Sword.
Okay. Man, dude. I guess like I'd probably really enjoy 14 too.
It's a good game.
Whew. I just noticed it is a well uh isn't
It can be a bit of a grind.
yeah, wouldn't 14 actually still be its own like separate pricing for like the service?
Yeah, only if you pay for it.
Only if you pay for it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like there is the free trial that's free for level 60 and up all the way up until the storm after until you can do the Stormblood expansion. Then after that, you gotta pay.
So I could just kind of loop back in and just never like advance forward. And obviously I'll still have like a max like level like cap, sure. But otherwise just playing it.
Basically,
I mean, yeah, I guess that could work too. Here, I'm just gonna update my catalog to include Final Fantasy 16. As far as the day in which I finished it, obviously it's this year, but I don't remember exactly the date in mind, so I'll have to get to that eventually. Well, actually, as we're talking, yeah, I'll just be skimming around like my archives and making sure I have it. Man, that reminds me. Phil needs to like start archiving his streams.
It's a big ask you're asking there.
It's a bit big asking.
It's a big ask for Phil.
Man, dude. He was
I'm sure he could. I'm sure he could do it. I just don't. I just don't know if he knows like where to start with it.
fair enough. Honestly, like when it comes to that kind of stuff, you just have to start with like the now. Just like start doing it. It'd be a big ask to like retroactively try to do that. For him, he's actually archived every single stream, like just locally on his PC. But as far as on Twitch, nah.
Oh, he's actually already got the archived. All right then.
Yeah. And
Shoot, Phil.
meanwhile, I've actually stopped archiving locally on like my drives because it's starting to like fill up quite a bit.
Because you're starting to take up a lot of space.
It's starting to take up a lot of space, so I have to be actually mindful of, like what games I'm actually like recording for. So I just kind of keep everything archived onto Twitch as like big old highlights. Oh, I forget that my watch does that sometimes. If I raise it up and I'm talking still, Siri picks that up and is like, "Oh, we trying to what are you trying to say?
How may I help you?
How can I ruin your day?"
How can I be of assistance today?
How can I personally help you?
What do you need?
What do you not want?
What do you not want? We'll do that.
I'll do that for you. Man, dude, 2023.
True.
It's been a crazy year.
Definitely has been. Not the worst.
Yeah. For games specifically, yeah, it's been a great year. For
Hey, for
sure.
games, been an awesome year.
Yeah. Everywhere outside, maybe not as much. For sure.
Yeah. It's not the
Eh,
worst year the world's ever had, but there's definitely been better years.
certainly. But let me see. There was other things I wanted to kind of bring up. Maybe not all game related. I kind of wanted to talk about the Cybertruck a little bit. But I guess there's not really much else to say. Moreover, the fact is that it finally exists. There's going to be like smaller units being like shipped out there here and there, and it's just going to be growing
Micro
slow.
trucks.
Yeah, they are kind of micro trucks. There's a Marquez video or MKBHD who did a video about him covering like the Cybertruck and comparing it to like a Ford truck, and it's actually a little bit smaller than that. Width wise, maybe the same. Length, it's a bit smaller.
I mean, there are some cars that in general, like whether no matter if they're a truck or a car in general, there's some that are like really small.
Yeah, yeah, seriously. Honestly, you know, if you live in like a neighborhood or a big city place, then maybe a smaller car would be worth it. It is a truck, so be careful about that. It's just it's a big unit, but apparently one of the cool things I've noticed about it is the fact that they were talking about it. The full turn for it is like 160 to 80 degrees. It should be 160 actually. So instead of doing the whole hand over hand thing, you just turn it all the way, and that's as sharp as it goes. But it's actually pretty sharp turning. So I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty sick. I guess if you're trying to reverse into like a, you know, like a charger, then fair enough. But yeah, no. I'm kind of curious to see more and more of them to show up. I've obviously never seen one like in person, but in my neighborhood, there's been like a fair number of like just Tesla cars in general showing up. Obviously, I'm still not in the market for a car or a truck for that matter. But it'd be really interesting to see like in the next like decade or so, seeing more Cybertrucks out there.
That'd
because
definitely be cool.
because I think people are saying that like it looks different when you're actually seeing it for the first time. Obviously, it's gonna look like some like just it looks like a polygon type of thing,
It
or
looks like something out of the future.
yeah, and I know that's probably what they're really trying to aim for with it. But I just want to see it in person because I think it looks like it's something really straight out of a video game too.
It really does.
Yeah, like honestly, if it ain't the warthog, it's that that I see. Which, granted, though, you can actually see a warthog. But like, yeah,
They actually have made real life warthogs.
they have, and it's super sick.
It honestly is.
Maybe if I am in the market, it's, guys, we're going to Vegas, and I just bring in the warthog.
We hear.
Shading ourselves from the sun would be an issue, but otherwise, it's a really cool drive.
Who's riding Turret?
I don't know. I don't know if anyone wants to hold on to the turret for that long a period of time.
I mean, what is it, like 2-3 hours to Vegas?
Yeah.
Honestly,
Maybe if you just switch
I can,
switch arms a
I
little
can,
bit.
I'd consider it. I mean, think about. No, I don't know. I probably wouldn't do it because it'd be like my arm's probably gonna get tired. But think about the story though.
That would be fun. Especially someone try to like mount a chair right
Just put
there.
a chair there, just sit down.
Okay. But it's also
You just get like the lawn chair.
the lawn chair, but it's also rickety, so you're kind of like, I don't really trust it. So you're kind of holding on to the handles of the turret a little bit.
You gotta get the chair. You gotta get the chair that Virgil sits in.
Oh man, that would not be perfect. That chair would be flying if it's not strapped in.
But people will be taking pictures.
It's true. People would be taking pictures.
And we just have Barry the Light playing out of the car speakers along with the Halo theme.
I
I am the star.
oh, buried alight.
People would be like, "This is amazing."
Honestly, I think if you want Virgil's chair, you probably want better foundation like the Cybertruck's bed.
Honestly,
Actually, that'd be kind of cool to see. Someone cosplaying as Virgil. He has the Yamato right here,
exactly.
and they're just
Sitting
like
in the
they're
back.
just blaring "Bury the Light."
You're just sitting there. You're just sitting there with a Monster Energy drink in your hand.
If you want it, you'll have to take it.
If you want it, you'll have to take.
I will say that is really cool. That whole truck bed. Ah, part of me kind of wants it, but there's no need for me right now. It'd be cool to still get a Tesla though, like just generally speaking. But
There's so many of them in Northern Virginia.
oh my god,
Like,
but
dude, there's
yeah,
so many Teslas up there. I see one like every single day.
that's funny. I think
And
it's one of
there's
those
so
things.
many charging stations.
So many, yeah, dude. There's also a lot of them popping up in my area. Although,
And you see all of them are usually taken.
yeah, yeah, this is very true. Like every day, like you pass one, there's like someone charging from that because honestly it'd be really cool. I don't know if they still do it, but if you do one of the promotions where they give you unlimited charging, and I think there is an upper cap to it where you'll start paying after a while. um but yeah, that sounds amazing, so I would have totally taken advantage of it. Therefore you would see me a lot at a charging station.
They say you save a lot of money using a Tesla.
Apparently so, yeah. So it's like
It's just a little bit of an investment to buy the Tesla, but
just
after
to
that
buy it.
you definitely make your money back, they say, in gas.
For sure. You know what? I think it kind of depends on like how the ecosystem is going to be working, like as far as cars and utilizing the like those chargers specifically, because obviously there's a whole thing talking about cars like taking like the Tesla charger like stuff instead, which would make a lot of sense since those are more consistent. They're a little bit more reliable, and there's just a load of them all over. That other car companies would just have to, make their own like electric vehicle, and if they could work with Tesla chargers, then that's also a great alternative too. So I'm thinking that, later down the line, if they've accepted that and they make their own version of like electric cars, then I might look into that instead of just the Tesla. But it kind of depends.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I'm
because
totally
there
down
are
for it.
other electric cars. Like there's like what is it? Is it the Chevy Volt?
Yeah, I think my cousin's fiance actually has one. I'm not sure if it's the Volt specifically, but yeah, Like
I know
definitely
there's like a
there's
couple
a
of different
market.
electric cars, but the Tesla's like the most well known and probably the most well
Yeah,
reviewed.
most reliable because they just have that experience under the belts. So right now, like
That and
they're
I mean, there's
leading.
also the autopilot.
That is really cool. It just costs a lot just to have that in there. But the
No,
cool
no,
thing
but
is
you should
they
only
can
really
pay
use the
for it
autopilot
later.
like you should only really use the autopilot like at like I would say like on a highway with it's not traffic.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Like on the streets,
Because
maybe
then you
not
just
as
let
much,
it.
but like on
Yeah, on the
freeway,
highway with no traffic, just let them go.
yeah. And there's no construction. That's also a thing. Because all videos I've seen, obviously they could have like updated that, but there's some that just do not take well to like, you know, two becomes one type of situation temporarily. They'll just kind of drive straight through, and you have to actually like manhandle it.
Yeah, you just gotta. I think like to get it off autopilot, you just have to like just jiggle the wheel a little bit.
Yeah, because essentially you need to have your hand on the wheel, but you don't have to make any movements. But
Yeah, just sit there.
yeah, but you can definitely override it by just simply making the move yourself, and then it just
Yeah, I
turns
think it's
off.
like as soon as it feels like you actually like turn the wheel a little bit like forcefully, it's like, oh, okay, your turn.
Yeah, yeah, but that's a really cool thing. The fact is everything is like updated like through software. Is that if you can't afford or don't want to get the autopilot now, you don't have to, and you just save yourself like $6,000. And then if you have enough money and you want the autopilot, you can actually just pay for it later, and then you just have to
You just
install
download
it.
the update.
And I'm like, that's sick. Like,
You just gotta download the update.
it's great. I like that. So yeah,
Definitely handy.
definitely handy. Honestly, I'm in for the technology where like they kind of create like kind of a three-dimensional space around your car. So like they'll show you like a top-down view, and it's just based on the cameras that are like available around the car that tell you like, okay, so this is kind of like your spacing between this and this car, that car a little bit behind you. So it just kind of helps with like the parking situation.
Right.
For me, for the longest time, I couldn't really quite judge exactly how close to the curve I would end up being. So I feel like that would actually help out a lot. And of course, like parallel parking is like, yeah, okay, yeah, that would help a lot.
Backup cameras work wonders.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, like that's the one gripe that I have about my car is that it just missed that time frame. Because
You can get one that you can install in your car.
that's true. You can actually like go forward with that one. I
Yeah,
don't
there's one that
know.
like one just pops up in your. There's one that you can get, and the feed for it will just pop up like in the corner of your rearview mirror.
That's actually, what, maybe I should kind of look into that. I don't really have much of a need for that right now, considering my lifestyle, but yeah, that would have been really cool. It's just one of those things where like I remember when my brother actually had like the old Civic before it got totaled. He
Not the
had
Civic.
it actually had a review camera. I was like, that's sick. Man,
Not the Civic.
I feel bad for that Civic. That Civic was pretty cool. I think they've changed the models, but I think
Those things survived for the longest time.
yeah, like listen, that Toyota as well. Like those
Yeah, Toyota's
sedans,
just a
like
good brand.
yeah, it's crazy. That's why I'm like, if Toyota really gets it down on like their like electric type vehicles and they have like a fully electric one that's really reliable, then I might even, and it's affordable, of course.
Oh, I'm
Uh,
sure they could.
then I'm like, I'd be down for that one actually, so long as
I'm
it
sure.
supports Tesla charging
I'm
or
sure
whatever.
they're working on something.
Yeah, I think all
I'm sure they're all working on something. They just haven't put it
all
out yet.
all car companies got to be working on electric at this point because I think Ford's definitely just kind of like jumped in on that one. Chevron obviously, or wait, no, Chevrolet. They're working on that one.
Yeah, so basically, like all three so far are like American companies, which is Tesla, uh, Ford, and Chevy. But I'm sure the other companies are going to start to get into work on it
Yeah, for
all
sure.
around the world.
Yeah, right now they got hybrids. They've had hybrids for a little bit.
Hey, there's been hybrids all over the way. Toyota's got plenty of hybrids.
Yeah, but to go full like electric would be like something. That'd be really
Yeah, it's just
cool.
an endeavor that like Tesla really kicked that one off.
It's good. You know, like obviously there's obviously who's attached to like Tesla, but
Mr. Musk,
Mr. Musk.
Mr. Elon Musk.
See me, sir. I hope that my ugliness will not distract you
Not at
from the
all, dear
enjoyment.
boy.
Whoa, boy. But yeah, no. Tesla are doing good. They're doing good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's all I really wanted to say about the Cybertruck, though, was that like they're finally showing like units after a long while. I think actually Gabe actually had reserved one, and I don't know if he's gonna
Gabe
fall through.
reserved a Cybertruck.
He reserved one like years ago,
My
so I
man
don't.
said, "I will take it."
But given his situation, I'm not sure if he'll even make it for that. I actually might have to follow up on him and say like, are you still down for that?
I mean,
Because
he might be.
are you down to put down like 100 grand for one? Obviously that's not the cheapest thing, but or the cheapest model on that. But yeah,
I mean, he did how long ago was this? Years?
like yeah, years before he left. Crazy.
I was gonna say, so he's already got a. If he's already done it, then I guess it depends on if he's canceled it or not.
Yeah, seriously. Actually, as we're talking, I'm gonna jump onto the Tesla website to see if they actually have like a tab for the Cybertruck.
How much
They
you want to bet he
do.
forgot? How much you want to bet he forgot?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he remembered, but it might be one of those things where it's like, oh yeah.
Could you imagine if he actually forgot?
I'm pretty sure they would have contacted him because obviously you have to like put a certain amount of money down for it ultimately, and they ain't cheap. So I can't imagine someone being like, oh, I'll just put down like 80 grand like casually, and just not hear about that for a long period of time. Like no, they
Unless while he's been in the military, he's slowly been putting money towards it the entire time.
holy moly, like I it's like he finally gets home. Obviously, he doesn't announce it. I just like rode past by his neighborhood, and I'm like, "Is that a Cybertruck?"
He just pulls up in a Cybertruck.
Oh, Beefling, hello, how's it going? We're kind of talking about the Cybertruck bit.
And how Gabe might possibly be buying a Cybertruck.
That'd be crazy. Yo, listen, if he provided chauffeur stuff, like he chauffeured us everywhere in the Cybertruck, that'd be kind of cool.
I figured you were to ask him if you could drive it.
Yeah, no. If it drives like any Tesla car, I'd be like so hesitant to do that because I need to drive myself like for the first time because I do not trust myself before that because if I recall correctly, the way they drive, otherwise it's fine, but you would have to like remember that your gas pedal in this case is actually also your brake, and then
Huh.
because you accelerate and the moment you like let off on that pedal it will start to brake immediately.
Huh.
So you have to. So there's no two pedals. It's actually just one. So
That sounds both good and confusing.
right. So I'm like, bro, I have to like really get used to it. I know that my one of my cousins actually has like a Tesla, so I probably should have asked about that. But yeah. So I would actually need to understand how to drive one before I'd feel comfortable driving someone else's. So
I would definitely be curious about how that feels.
you're right. So I think you can actually like call them and you can actually like reserve a spot to just test drive one and ask questions about it before you like fully commit to like one of their units. So that is something I could have done for sure. Also, yeah, Beefling yeah, Beefling's been following for looks like 4 years, 9 months and 7 days. That's quite the long commitment. Appreciate
Let's
that.
go.
Let's go. But yeah, as far as the way that you drive like some of these Tesla cars, it's quite a lot. It's quite a lot of a change anyway. Also, the crazy thing is that with the Cybertruck, they're legally supposed to like ship it out with rear view mirrors, but apparently you can actually easily remove those because the Tesla
Huh.
truck is meant to be able to go places without those rear views because it's all cameras.
I would say, huh.
They actually have cameras like placed nearby where your rear view would be, and it just shows you a camera. And when you're driving, you actually have the ability to set up where like you'll be able to see what the camera sees on your display.
Well,
Uh,
that's cool, and I like that. But is there also an option for a man, like if I could just like place a physical one there if the camera breaks?
that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, so they'll just ship it out with it, so you'll have to do that. A
Oh, okay, that's
downside,
fine
yeah,
then.
the downside is that as far as seeing things up front, like in front of the truck, you actually can't see it apparently.
Huh.
Think about this. It's a huge like window pane thing that you can see like from directly straight and like maybe above you, but immediately in front of the truck, you can't actually see it, and they actually have a front facing camera for that.
Are you telling me I can't see at the fucking front of the car?
Like not the immediate front. Like you can't see down.
Isn't that dangerous?
Isn't that dangerous? I think so. I think that's why they have the camera there. I have to see it though. I wanted to be able to sit down in one of them and tell you like, bro, you can't see down there.
Because like, isn't that dangerous? Because like, what if something runs out in the road,
Like a child? Yeah, no. Uh
or a small animal,
the small
like a
animal.
child, a small animal, anything that's like small, whether it be a kid or an animal or something.
All I could say is that you best have that camera on and you best be looking at it. Otherwise, yeah, I think their days are numbered.
Jeez.
Yeah, that sounds like a hazard, and honestly, I feel like they should have probably changed the curvature a little bit. But of course, they want to kind of stick with this idea of like the shapes. Everything is just like a line in a direction and not curved. So I think that was the downside, is the fact that because there's no curve, you can't really see all the way down, which is interesting because now when I look at the front of it, even though it's kind of smushed in a little bit, um, I guess you're kind of a little bit further back from like the front. So yeah, that would be a problem. Yes, beefling. It'd be like it's a you're done moment, Dark Souls
As a rat.
moment. But man, dude, it does. It's honestly, it's one of those things where like it makes sense given like there is a commodity for trucks and pickup trucks and everything like that. And if you want yours to stand out from like the rest of them, then at least look striking.
Honestly, I will say that one friend who actually has a truck, they always come in clutch when you need to move shit.
100%. So I mean, that would help in my moving eventually.
That's like honestly the only thing you need a truck for is just when you need to move shit usually.
Or I guess if you have like a big like trip of
Yeah,
sorts.
yeah.
Oh,
Out of that, or you just play Tetris in the car.
hell yeah, dude. Hopefully they can actually play Cyberpunk in the game or in the car.
I mean, Tetris is when you put bags in there
That too. That too. Oh, you mean that type of Tetris?
because it pretty much is Tetris trying to put all those bags in there.
uh Beeflin's asking a new chair. No, this is the usual chair. It just has like an extra bit of red like layered on top of it. But yeah, no. There was another car brand or another truck like thing. I think it's the Rivian. That
The Rivian.
yeah. I'm not sure if that's a truck by itself. Actually it is a truck. Um if I understand it correctly, I think Rivian's actually pretty expensive, but I've been seeing like maybe one or two out there in my life. But yeah, no. I believe that yeah, that's also
I hope
they're
they
also
do it.
American doing electric cars. Yeah.
I'm just hoping that they do a collab for an advertisement, and it's Geralt of Rivian.
Yeah. You know what? I've thought about that too.
Feels like a wasted opportunity if they don't.
Yeah. But I think I do really like the Rivian too, as far as like the design on that one. Like when you see one, you know it is a Rivian.
That's a Rivian, all right.
Yeah. Because I think the biggest distinction is like these like big like oval like headlights and a strip of
Big oval
white.
headlight.
It's striking that matter for sure. So I
It's fine.
mean,
Yeah, that's definitely a Rivian.
mhm. New chair, new headphones at Beeflane. These are also the same too. Don't worry about it.
New haircut?
New fade. I mean, yes, actually. Actually, I haven't got a haircut since October. Yeah, is that true? Yeah. But true. It's just good to it's easy to maintain once all the long hair's at the top and on the sides. Man, dude, I've had lots of changes to my hair. Well, not lots, but definitely transformations to my hair, like over the course of like the podcast life. It's definitely been like it's been trying to keep this type of look, but it used to be like something I would like to try to spike up. I could never hold it up, and I can't really do it now because it's a little bit too long at this point. So I just keep it combed back. New shoes, huh? What do you mean?
New shoe?
You don't even see it.
You're just naming new shit on you, hoping to hit something.
Better ingredients, better pizza, better bitches, better money. My clothes better, my shoes better.
My shoe,
Bro, this is not Papa John's.
sir, this is a Papa John's.
My God. What if I walked up to you, Mark, and I said like, "Hey, new share, new headphones, new shirt, new shoes, new unders." Like what?
New unders? How'd you know?
How'd you know? Yeah, these are really going. Oh man, dude. But yeah, I guess that's as far as like those talks, yeah. That's all I wanted to talk about as far as like Tesla stuff. Um Obviously people are like adopting electric vehicles a little bit more. So I'm always down for that. Just like when it gets affordable and when I'm in the market for that. I hope everything gets established by then. Uh but yeah, no, the DangIT Mobile has been running quite smoothly. So I'm just happy, knock on wood. It's still functioning.
You're saying so you're not in the need for a new car right now, but hey, you're just looking.
Yeah, it like I'm more in the market for like a house at this point, which I think is probably the
Right.
better call at that point.
It's
'Cause
definitely. I mean, it's rather what you need rather than what you're like just looking at for
what
the
I
car. You're just
want,
like browsing.
for sure,
Cars,
for
you're just
sure.
browsing. Houses, you're like, please.
Yeah, like bro, I need to get out. I need to get out.
Just want to go. Just want to go have your own place. I get that.
Yeah, I think personally for me, it's not just like an urgency type of thing. It's also like I feel like there would be an invisible like bit of pressure as someone who is in about a year is going to hit 30s, right? I feel like given my situation, I should be able to get a house, and I kind of want that for myself at this like day and age because um living here at my folks' house has been like a blessing for sure. But especially since my cousin, well, sorry, not my cousin, my brother, he pretty much moved out when he was like 22 or something. He got out of like undergrad. He moved over to LA, had different prospects there. He's doing well for himself, and he learned a lot. But for me, being in a little bit of a more stable financial situation, I can actually like afford like housing without having to do rental stuff. Hopefully, right? Um,
You get a house or an apartment.
he rented a townhouse actually. Apparently there was
Ah, I gotcha.
yeah. But he had to like kind of move a little bit around in LA. Like he probably like moved once while he was in there. Um, just because of like better circumstances and stuff like that. So he's now been there for like a good number of years at this point. And he's still renting, but he's doing pretty well for himself as far as money stuff. But obviously it would be good financially if he didn't have to like spend it all on just the rent. So for me, I'm looking for like housing for me to actually like stay there and not rent. So
Right, just something that's yours.
yeah, and also a couple things like come up here and there where it's like I would really love to be like independent for as long as I'm living here. I'm not complaining about that, but I would like to try to like feel that sense of independence on that front because like
Right.
here in my household it's like I don't really have to think about like what I need to prepare for food or anything like that. It's just like I just pay them for like groceries here and there, and they end up making the stuff. But I also kind of want to like dabble in that too, see what that's really like. and finally gain that sense of like adulthood. That I think that's the only thing I'm kind of missing these days.
To get that full sense of you're like fully an adult is like to have your own place.
Yeah, yeah. I get yeah. That would probably be like the quote unquote like American dream at that point, which I've never really followed, but I guess at this point it's like, yeah, I guess it is.
I mean, pretty much to be free to have your to just be free. You can say what you can say
Freedom.
what you want, say what you want, think what you want, as long as you're not breaking the law. It's like, hey, as long as you're not breaking the law or hurting anybody, you're cool, man.
Yeah. Mark over there on the other side. Is that where freedom is? Is that where the
Freedom.
enemies are? Whoa. Yo, Aaron was crazy. Oh my god. Not quite Attack on Titan. It's actually Jujutsu Kaisen. Uh yeah, dude.
Everyone's like, holy shit.
Creator is not safe. He is not safe. He needs to be walked around. He needs to be chaperoned everywhere. He is not safe.
after after what happened to Nobara, yeah.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I already knew about that. But I mean,
Yeah, it's
what
crazy,
I've
right? Because a lot of people, like a lot of manga readers, knew about that, and
from what I've heard, I mean, she's not exactly gone.
yeah, but they never followed up on her. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
they haven't followed up on her in the manga, but for as far as we know, she's not dead.
Yeah, it's that's kind of problematic. At that point, it's like you have to like start prepping things up, unless you're trying to like pull people under the rug and just show her like up here out of nowhere. But the problem is that she had a whole flashback and everything. Yeah, the whole
And it's like not
flashback.
the flashback, not the flashback.
We'll talk about life story in like much more like detail than needed.
Only
And
to get fucking one tapped.
oh my god, she literally one tapped. Literally one tapped. Beefling,
Bro,
did you? Beefling, did
Yuji
you
beat
just?
the shit out of him.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that was cut out. That wasn't even like manga stuff. That was like like Mappa put all the frustrations towards beating up Mahito.
That's what they wanted to do to the higher ups.
Also, Beefling, did you just throw in 45 bits? Thanks, dude. Holy sh! Oh my god.
Money.
Oh my god, he's trying to support. Bring
We
Kirby.
appre-
Absolutely.
we
Hold on.
appreciate that, bro.
Bruh's helping me like fund a housing.
Whoop.
Let's go. 100%.
That's
With your
always appreciated.
It is. Honestly, I actually might need that. In fact, there might be a focus where it's like, help me fund to get better housing.
Please help me fund to buy a house.
Please. Go live your dreams with my 45 cents. I will. I will take that. I
Go
think,
live your dreams with my 45 cents.
honestly, I think Twitch is doing a thing where they're changing like the amounts for bits and stuff like that. We'll see how that plays out. It's probably not good. I will tell you that much. Usually if there's a change, it's like it's typically not a good thing unless they were goaded like then they said like, oh, actually 75 bits is actually like $1 equivalent. And I'm like,
Go
oh my
live your
god.
dreams with my 45 cents.
No, I appreciate it either way. Listen, I can kind of go on the dollar menu.
Like, I kind of go on the dollar menu, kind of.
I can probably like go to one of those like card dispensers and see what kind of pulls I get.
But,
Have you ever done that before?
well, a lot of tickets.
Well, not a lot of tickets. I'm talking about like actual like TCG stuff. Like things that would actually have like maybe Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, kind of, I think.
I did one like a long time ago. I think it was just for Yu-Gi-Oh, but yeah, I don't know if
Yeah,
they're
if
still
you see if
there.
you get lucky in the gacha.
Yeah, but then again, like I was just not nosed kid, so I didn't know any better. Although I think I
I mean,
did one way back.
I mean, every pack of cards is a gacha,
100% actually. At that point, if you're collecting, you might as well just like go directly on the TCG website and pay like for the exact card.
basically.
Yeah, I've been kind of thinking about that, but I was like, I would definitely not do it for every single set. I think I would do it for
Certain
like
sets.
certain sets. I think the very first one that you jump into, I think you might as well just do that.
Just go all
Otherwise,
in.
yeah. I did check what I was missing, and aside from like reverse hollows, it's still quite a bit of money. So I'm like, forget that for now. Forget that for now. But yeah, thank you, Briefling. I will definitely take that 45 cents to yeah, I'll just have it with me.
Gary say, let's be honest, there ain't much you can get with that these days.
How about like a micro home? Like like a Lego set home.
Yeah, you congratulations, this is your house. It's a single Lego brick.
Damn. I'll use it to like fund the filaments to 3D print a home. A small one, albeit.
You can almost fit your pinky toe in it.
My pinky toe. I can throw the invisible bits and yeah, I'll take those bits and throw it at somebody. That's what happens. Or what was it? A certain scientific railgun. If I just have like a couple of those cents, I can like try to like shoot them at people. I don't have like electrical powers though, so I can't really make a railgun. So
People make them on YouTube all the time.
oh damn, I guess I guess Mikasa's not so different at that point. Or
Just
Misaka.
like not everything is on like military level. Some are just like small rail guns,
Maybe like a slingshot for all those 45 cents.
right?
Oh yeah, put them in a sock. Use that as a weapon.
Sock full of nickels.
Oh man, that kind of reminds me of this. It's a book that I read like a long time ago. And it dealt with like two characters. It was a guy and like his or her butler. And I remember like one of the go-to things that this guy did was literally like to fight somebody. The butler actually took a bit of gold into like his like glove, and he
Oh
put those,
man,
and he proceeded to stand on that business. And I was like, "Yo, that's sick. That
that's
guy's for real."
wild. That's some gangster shit.
Yeah, he was cool. I was like, even as a kid, I was like, "Whoa, this guy's something else." I wish I remember what that book was. Obviously, it was out of a certain era. Um, but yeah, no, that was cool. Yeah, gold knuckles. I was like, "Whoa." Ah, man. Trying to remember. I don't think there's anything else to add, though. I think we kind of listed everything out. I think obviously the big things that we're kind of like going towards going to next week is actually pretty much the Game Awards, really.
Hmm.
It's hard to say for certain. I guess Mark, if you've had a chance to take a look at the listings, did you have any ideas of like who would you like vote for as far as Game of the Year or any other categories that they had?
I mean, I've told you before. I think that Baldur's Gate's probably going to sweep most of it.
Okay, I think I remember that conversation. Yeah, yeah. Baldur's Gate probably is going to sweep. It's a shame because I actually never really tried it myself, and the only thing I got as a reference point is the fact that one, it's D&D, and two, people love like those like interactions between characters so much so that like all gameplay is really just like interactions and not necessarily the gameplay.
True.
Because like when you actually see people playing, you're like, oh, it actually plays like this. Okay, I see.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, beefing. That's a good call. Yeah. Um. So within the coming days, we're gonna get like two new trailers showing up here and there. The
Oh
biggest
yeah,
one
the
was
one for GTA 6.
yeah. So they finally went with that, and I understand that some others have like followed up with that, doing something similar, like Halo. Is that true? Actually, Halo Infinite actually getting some kind of trailer to it.
It does, and it's funny because Halo Infinite is like, why are they both of them have the
Yeah,
exact same, close to the exact same poster. One just has a Halo ring, the other one has a city background with the palm trees.
100%. I'm not sure if this one's real. Did Fall Guys have something too?
I don't know if Fall Guys does that. I'm not aware.
Okay, because I was thinking like, are we just making the joke out of this?
You're like, is this on purpose?
I think it's 100% on purpose. But yeah, no, like honestly, Rockstar, you can't really go wrong with them. They literally will just like release a game without too much promotion to it, and it speaks for itself.
Pretty
And
much.
but when it comes to GTA 6, it's gonna be crazy because I think they will lean heavy on the promotion on that one, but they probably don't need to either.
I mean, yeah, GTA 5 is still a legend to this day.
It's wild, dude. People don't even talk about like the story of it anymore. It's just like what you play like outside of it. It's ridiculous, dude. But hey, props to GTA 6. Like, and it's a long standing franchise too. So like in like the sixth game, and out of a lot of other ones, in addition to the numbered ones, they've been working at it, and I'm just curious as to what they'll be doing with this one, especially since a lot of the core content that people still post about GTA is not necessarily like the grounded campaign or even like just simple online. There's a whole bunch of other slew of things, whether it be
Where like just fan made shit,
yeah, like racing and whatnot. It's like, oh wow, you're just kind of
roleplay,
like
all that kind of stuff.
yeah. So I think it'd be in their best interest to really lean on that kind of stuff, but not like outright, focus on that. Just make the resources available for people to make on their own.
Yeah,
So
it's probably the best idea.
so yeah, I guess we'll see about that. As far as what Halo wants to do, I have no idea what they want to do at this point.
I'm hopeful it's something really cool.
Yeah, you think it would be like a new mode or something like that?
New mode, a campaign expansion, maybe. That'd be awesome.
Hmm. Okay, okay. And then, whatever else wants to show up. Oh, you know what? I got a little bit of a tweet showing up from Jeff Keighley. I think it's the folks from Rocket League. I'm pretty sure because there was going to be some kind of premiered for a trailer for Rocket Racing. So I was like, is this the same group of people? Because they weren't like specifying on that. But if they did that, I mean, look out for that.
That definitely is something to keep your eye out for, because you never know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, for sure. Also, Ibrahim, how's it going? Um, Caught myself a little of a sickness. Oh, sorry to hear that. I know
If
that I think Phil was going through that too. I think he's getting better, but yeah, no. I think that Friendsgiving like took it out on him.
that is unfortunate.
Yeah, it was on yeah. It happens, but hopefully you'll feel better. I think Phil also is feeling better too. Um that was actually a fun thing. I could talk a little bit about that. Yeah, we just had a Friendsgiving. He busted out Rock Band. Um we actually bought like a whole set of songs like for him to actually add to the party. It was weird because obviously the PlayStation 3 you can't really buy things directly through it. You actually have to add like funds on. It's kind of like the similar situation with your Nintendo account, where you add funds on like an active like membership here and there, and if you've linked it over to like another thing for PlayStation 3, you can actually add funds directly, like, well, not directly, but through that. And so
Such a caveat just to get to the cash.
yeah, but I think people were just kind of like tossing like money towards him just so he can like buy a couple songs, and it turned out to be like $60 worth of songs. So he bought like quite a number of those, and so we had like the guitars, the drum set, the mic up, and I just tried to like jump in like through guitar or bass, and that was still fun. It's been a while, and I'm kind of hoping like now having replayed that and having the experience back again, I hope that we see something more of Guitar Hero as well later. So I don't know. It's one of those things where like
Maybe one day.
that's a rhythm game that like deserves to still stay. But
I mean, yes, they pretty much started the trend.
so yeah, we'll see for sure. Also, Ibrahim was saying instant ramen would do the trick as far as sickness. Shrimp ramen is the best flavor. The others, garbage. I don't have much of a favoritism towards any of the
Saying
flavors.
chicken is garbage is like saying, oh, just the flavor that literally anybody enjoys is garbage.
That's the Omni Man insult where it's like, yeah, but you never should have been born. It's like, bruh.
Like, bro, you can never go wrong with chicken.
Listen, if it's just like to calm that down, then yeah, like straight up chicken flavored, like the OG flavor, will do just fine. Although I don't have much of
It's
a
like
preference.
it's like if you like the shrimp one more, it's perfectly legitimate. But saying the chicken one is garbage, I'm like, okay, now you just wildin'.
Yeah, Beefling gets it. Omni Man was something else. He was a different breed, like literally.
True. That man next level arrogant.
It's so cool they got to have like a spotlight in like Mortal Kombat. It makes
I did
sense.
not expect that.
There was definitely the leaks talking about that. We were kind of skeptic about it, but it would also be like really dope if they did that. So I'm glad they followed through. I haven't caught up with Invincible, like, the second season, but people obviously are talking about it, so I do know some of the events there, and yeah, they're now jumping to like the alternate universe stuff where it's like, there's a lot of what ifs here and there that kind of stay here and there, but we still follow the main story plot. And it's actually really shocking that you. Well, I'm not sure if I should really spoil it too much, but it's just kind of shocking, like where it kind of ends on the season and what Mark has to go through. Because unfortunately, I guess the main premise of the show and the series is that Mark does become invincible, but not like yet. He actually
Hey,
gets beaten up quite a lot, several times over.
he's got to take some licks first.
No, for the bad guys against him, like they eat, they
They
ate.
eat.
Like Mark gets beaten so badly every single time, but eventually, it's all like pushing towards like when he becomes like actually invincible, in the sense
Right.
that yeah. So it's just a very long journey for him versus other like typical protagonists in those shows where they're just kind of like strong almost off the bat.
Right.
It's crazy though. He has a lot of potential. Man, dude. So wait, I think there was something else show wise, but I think we literally just kind of stopped in between because we were talking about Jujutsu Kaisen for a little bit. Man, dude, I do feel really bad for a lot of the people who like enjoy those characters, and you see people's responses. You know that there's some people who are like legit upset. Jujutsu Kaisen was a great show, but now like this, it's like, and I get it. Whoa. Who are you gonna have in 500 years? Your dad. My dad. Which is 100% true. Then I feel like Adam Eve also has a chance too, because she really can alter a lot of things, including like how she is. It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I think they turned 180 on Amber's character, but she's still human. So I mean, I feel bad for Mark later on.
I think Death Battle said it best. Their race is pretty much Saiyans and Kryptonians put together.
I see that. Yeah, 100% actually. Immortal's kind of cool. Yeah, Immortal is kind of cool. I can't say about his moral compass though. Because yeah, no. I get the whole thing with duplicate, but that's kind of weird. I wouldn't go that far. I think of them like having like a cool like mentor type of like mentorship type of thing, but what they had going on was kind of not. I kind of feel for Rex though, to be honest. Like, sure, he's kind of a jerk. I get that, but he gets better. He gets better, but he doesn't deserve some of the things that get thrown at him, like the fact that I mean, yeah, he cheated once. That's actually really bad, and then he proceeds to get cheated on again.
He cheated and then he got cheated on.
Yeah, that's essentially what happened.
F.
It's just like that relationship that they established is not what I was expecting. It's kind of I don't know. I don't really like that. I get it though. Immortal's immortal. So I mean, like his age is almost near irrelevant, but maybe like physically age might matter in that regard or be more accepted. But given the situation, it's kind of
So
that
it's a little rough for him.
it's a little rough. But the people he chooses to be with is kind of weird. Robots weird? Yeah, You know what? You're right. Because he has a thing for like Monster Girl, and it's because of a similar situation as to like Duplicate and Immortal. Is the fact that
He's a thing
like
for monster girls.
it's just because like the way he frames it is that they have like similar circumstances where like they're kind of trapped in like their own bodies. At the time, Robot was actually in a very like really bad terminal illness, and he really just functioned like through Robot itself, all the things he's built up. And you know, he was working in the back like secretly with the those twin dudes. Obviously they do a lot of cloning for themselves, and he's been looking into that. So he was like, hey, listen, if I fund you guys like from the back, behind the scenes, could you make a body for me to replace my mind and transfer it over to a new body, one that isn't terminally ill, you know?
Basically, can you like just make my body remove the sickness and then just put me in that one?
Yeah. But they kind of get into like some like deep thoughts about that, where it's like, you know, you literally make like a mind double of yourself, because we can't fully transport your like your entire like mental fortitude and everything like that over and over. So
Yeah, we
you
can't. There's currently not really a way to transfer our consciousness.
yeah, so you're essentially making a clone with everything about you except for the original. So I think that was a
So it's just
really tough
another
scene
you.
to
It would
see,
quite literally just be another you.
because they're on the bed, um, and the clone wakes up and he looks over to the side. He's like, "Oh my god!"
He's
and
like, "Oh my gosh, you guys did it."
and you guys did it, but you see the originals. He's still there, and
He
he's
said,
dying. And I'm like, bro,
and then so he's just like, "So, what are we gonna do now?"
right? And he proceeds to apprehend the twins and send them to jail. But then he
Why?
has,
What? They didn't do anything wrong. They did exactly what they said they were gonna do.
yeah. But I have to give props because, like, you know, he would have been kind of a go-to character just to kind of like, let them off the hook and let them do whatever they want. But he's technically still a hero. So Robot, like his alias, still like turns them in. They obviously break out, and that's what leads them to doing the stuff that they do in season two. But it's a weird thing because Robot has to like reveal himself to like the new Guardians of the Globe, and it's a bit of a rough patch considering that the clone's based off of Rex's genes. But other than that, they kind of warm up to him and they ultimately accept him. So that's good.
So they accept the clone.
They accept Robot for who he was, who he is that he's not a robot. He's actually just been a dude who's terminally ill. He's pretty much Mekamaru. He's
As you always say, from Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, he's legitimately that. Except he doesn't have Mahito to like, heal him. He has like just two smart twins to make a clone. That's the best that they can do. Actually, Mahito would do a great job in that series too. I can't really hate Mahito like too much because he has like that. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess that's true. But I gotta say, like
Well,
he can contribute so much to
if he
humanity.
wasn't such a piece of shit.
But he's just a cursed human or a cursed thing with a human body. It's weird. But
That's what I'm
he's
saying. It's because here's the thing: could Mahito like do a lot of good? Sure, but he's not gonna because the dude is just a fucking dickhead. Like
dude.
he's just pure evil.
I gotta give props to Jujutsu Kaisen. It's like like not just the animation, but also just like the voice acting, dude. Like they go above and beyond. Like obviously you look at Itadori's corner and you're like, dude, that guy is like method acting like no other. Because if you see like behind the
Absolutely.
scene, yeah, like there's shots of him like actually like groveling on the ground when he's doing like the iconic scene after seeing like the destruction.
Everything that Sukuna did.
Yeah. And after that is Nanami, right? And then like he is just crying out loud, and Mahio doing what he does best. He reciprocates that same level of shoutingness. And he's like, you don't have to yell to get my attention. I hear you just fine. Itadori Yuji.
Proceeds to get his ass fucking whooped.
But like he's still kicking. He's like
He's still kicking, but man got his ass handed to him.
Yugisaki just she's gone. It's unfortunate. Until further notice, no, she's gone.
Like, I don't think people like people like we all saw that Mahito absolutely got comboed.
Yeah, again, that's not even like source material. That is just like that's Mappa doing what they do best, pouring their frustrations onto Mahito, getting them served
And
up.
and on top of that, not to even just forget that. I mean, a lot of people were very upset about Nanami.
That was rough, dude. They get him like the appropriate as possible send off, but it's still really sad because he was like a second mentor for Yuji.
On top of that, he was also a pretty high grade sorcerer.
He was, and it. I think what they do well is to like really make this kind of a tragic story because we have Gojo who's like number one and literally can like solo almost everybody. Obviously, the manga tells you like a different story later on, but you know, aside from some certain key characters not there yet, it's him. Nanami is like high up there as far as like
I
his
think Nan was
capacity.
isn't I think Nanami's like what, grade 1?
He's like grade one, yeah.
He's not special grade, but he's grade 1.
Yeah, special grade's kind of interesting because like they're kind of in a separate tier. Like they can't really be added to the same tier because they're just different.
Yeah, like special grade is like Yuta, Gojo, Geto was a special grade.
Yeah, yeah.
Yuji, I think Yuji is considered special grade.
He's technically like special grade, yeah.
So and I forget what Megumi was.
Yeah, that's tough. I actually
I think he might have been grade 1.
at that point, yeah. Because what was Maki's obviously like someone that we always like keep an eye on because of like her ranking and how she
As you
deserves a little
say,
bit better.
in the manga or in the
Well, in the anime, right? She like clearly can make like I think is she grade 3 currently, and then she deserves to be grade 1 or something like that, grade 2.
it's what she deserves.
Yeah, but then in the manga, she's like a whole different person.
That's a whole nother beast.
She's like the way they describe is that she attains Toji level.
Yeah,
So
bro,
it's like,
she got Doom music playing.
oh my, yeah, dude, the soundtrack. They're gonna go crazy on that.
I remember when that first happened. Chibi Review said it best when he said, "Dude, Maki is listening to Doom music." I was like, "You're right.
Rip and tear till it's done. Like what?
It is not wrong at all." Like that woman is a beast.
That's good. It's good that they do that for their character. Although it's kind of tragic how it happens, but
I mean, it is, but on top of that, can we just say like right now? I mean, it's people are having the question like, what if Toji went up against all the special grade curses and Sukuna? It's like
I
honestly, I couldn't tell you.
honestly I think it might hold its ground, but there'd just be too many. I would feel that'd just be too
I
many.
feel I feel like the special grade curse, he's gonna wipe the floor with all of them.
Because I think special grades like one on one is like really interesting, and it just kind of depends on if they're like a character or they're just like a cursed thing, you know.
I think that he could. I definitely think he could body Mahito.
Hmm.
I think he would body Mahito. He would body.
Yeah, you're one hundred
What was
percent right. Yeah, he would.
what was the name of the guy with the volcano in his head?
Oh, ooh, I know what you mean.
Was it Goja? Is that what his name is? Is that what his name is?
It's very close
Gojin?
to that.
Goja, something like it starts with a G.
Yeah, I actually
He
kind of
would.
like that guy, even though he was kind of an ass.
I
I mean,
feel like he would also get obliterated by Toji.
I think they kind of characterize some of these bad guys a little too well too, because some of them you'll obviously hate them, and that's a really good thing considering what they're trying to do for the character. But they also make some sympathetic characters here and there. Like that dude was really strong. It just so happened that he was always paired up with the worst type of opponents. But when you actually see him and you compare it to some other main cast characters, he's really strong. He's ridiculously strong.
Oh, and we almost forgot another character that I really would like to see again, which is Toto.
Oh, we'll see him. Oh, we'll see him. I know that scene too. And Toto obviously is kind of a joke character at the very beginning, but he's already like on the business the moment like that passes
People
and
don't realize how powerful that man is. think about this. Only special grades have made him use his curse technique. Everything else, it's just brute strength.
This is true. And you know,
But
like his technique is like very different from everything. Like it's just a nuanced type of thing that he's able to do. It has so much utility in and of itself. Like
I believe it said that like later like it's either his hands don't he doesn't have to clap his hands together to use his technique.
what's the sound of one hand clapping?
Like I think it's like yeah he can use it without like the clapping of his hands. I think he just needs to get like just like a ta or something like that.
Yeah, he probably needs to like slap like the side of his leg and he's like that will cue it up.
And I mean I believe he is special grid.
Yeah, honestly, he probably deserves it.
Are
But
you
yeah,
kidding me? And he's on top of that, he's also not even from one of the clans.
that's funny. Yeah. Eh,
He's not even from the clans, and the man's an absolute powerhouse.
he's just a guy who wants to watch his idol, but he also knows how to work the business.
What's your kind of woman?
I guess it's got to be a tall girl with a huge ass, kind of like Jennifer Lawrence. Flashback.
The crying.
Oh, you're gonna love it, but it's like when Toto does come back, it's gonna be one of those things where another guy's with him. And he's like, Toto's younger brother looks a lot different than what he explains to me. You're like, oh, if you only knew.
Like Toto is honestly like yeah he's hilarious, but honestly at the same time he's also like very smart, very wise.
He's very insightful. Like literally,
Like
him trying to describe Black Flash makes so much sense. And then when he gives Yuji the pep talk, because Yuji actually deserves that at this point, it makes just a lot of
Toto is
sense.
grade 1.
Oh, is he? Okay. Well, I mean, that's also fair too. Like,
I mean, you could have fooled me. I would think that I could see him being special grade.
mm-hmm. That's gonna be tough though. We'll have to wait for that actual like moment. But yeah, Shibuya arc has been going crazy as far as the animation and everything around it.
I
So
mean, the next time he's supposed to show up is supposed to be in
very soon.
Shibuya, so I
Yeah,
think
it's,
it's supposed to
it's
be
gonna be very soon. Like maybe like
at the.
in an episode or two.
I mean, they did say that they already announced the culling game.
Hmm.
Like that arc's already been announced.
Oh, cool. Okay. It's gonna be crazy, dude. Some people are gonna just drop off of Jujutsu Kaisen entirely, though.
True.
Like, I can't take this anymore. No one's safe. And you're right. No one's safe.
Correct.
Correct. Man, dude. I mean, I guess that's just like that's what they want to go for, but it's rough because obviously
I'm.
when you make really good characters or people that you really like end up liking a lot, and they can get off that instant because how he phrased it in his interview was that like literally he will probably off a character if their potential has been reached and there's nothing else for them. And it's like, are you like dead ass about Nobra? Like what? Because that's kind of messed up. She had her whole life ahead of her. Had a
I
whole
know it's
series ahead
like.
of her.
I mean, I still think she could come back.
I think so, but like even the manga readers don't even know.
I
So
mean,
it's like,
for Gige, I feel like what he says is could be true, but I also feel like that might just be his point of view because I feel like for a lot of readers,
mm-hmm.
we're used to thinking we're used to using our minds and we're used to saying that hey, we can understand if that's where you want to draw as the creator, if that's where you want to draw the line, totally respect that. However, I do think that there is always going to be room for growth in characters, whether it be for just the character as a whole or power in general.
Yeah, there's got to be more because of course it's a shonen series, but like
And of course, if he wants to establish a ceiling, absolutely go ahead, establish your ceiling. That's what that way we know. Okay, that is where you draw the line.
yeah, I think he does it so early on with like Gojo and later on Sukuna. So it's like that's
Gojo and Sukuna really literally are the ceiling.
they're the ceiling. So it's like how do I obviously like Utah is like the closest thing at that point.
He is Yuta is the. It is pretty much confirmed that the second strongest modern sorcerer is Yuta
That's insane.
because of just the wild amount of cursed energy that he has, and just his ability in general with the copy thing.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like,
Because being able to copy any cursed technique and having such vast amounts of cursed energy is just broken.
yeah, no. Like you give that man a megaphone, everyone's like, "Whoa, relax."
Not only that, I mean, of course, there's other users that come into
Oh,
play which have
yeah.
really broken abilities.
hmm Dude, what if he had
Like
like the frame animation ability?
the frame anime. That.
There's also another one that showed up recently in the manga. I
You're
don't
talking
know.
about. Are you talking about? Let's just say ching ching.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that ability's fucking busted.
It's very interesting. I also love that like Yuta kind of like just shows up at the very end, like, "Yep, I got him."
But that ability is so fucking busted.
hmm
Oh,
You know,
the other one, the one you're thinking of right now, where Yuta showed up, that ability that was dealing with you know who before, that ability is potentially OP.
potentially, yeah.
I mean, he did almost lose to it.
hmm Almost did. But yeah, no, it's interesting with this type of like that type of show or franchise series where the power scaling is kind of interesting because if you just put it on like a simple Dragon Ball Z like power scaling basis, it's about who can like have the stronger form, who's physically stronger, who has like more energy here and there. But when it comes to Jujutsu Kaisen, like it is really like everyone's unique abilities like put into like a cage match and see like how well they do. There's obviously
Yeah,
bad matchups, um,
it's
but
very sim. Some people have compared it to Hunter x Hunter, and I think that's fair.
yeah, where it's like it's so they're all varied and the circumstances and the matchups are like are different, and I kind of like it for that.
On
Um,
top of that, there's say with the clans, like the clans have their inherited like curse techniques,
mhm,
like Gojo with Limitless and the Six Eyes.
yeah, which was like the craziest one, but you know the Zen and clan was literally right behind that, if not
Yeah,
neck
the
and
Ten
neck.
Shadows.
That's crazy. And the fact that Megumin had that in the tuck all this time, and they
And
were
it was
and they were hinting
yeah,
at it too.
yeah, they were saying like, yeah, and yeah, because guess what? Cause Gojo told him like, hey, you have the 10 shadows, I have the 6 eyes.
hmm
If we get along, we're changing history there. Because guess what? Guess who was the person that guess who was one of the only people who was ever able to kill someone who had the 6 eyes, someone who had the 10 shadows.
hmm
And we all know which one, because if you've seen the anime, you know which one is the biggest problem out of all the 10 shadows.
Yes.
Thing is busted.
Oh my god, dude. Like, I'm not sure
Mahoraga.
if you guys recall when like Sukuna took over Yuji's body and did the whole heart thing. Megumin was about to pull out that dude, and that would have been curtains
Oh,
for
if he had pulled out
everybody.
Mahoraga at that time, oh, that would have been done. Like he would have bodied Sukuna immediately.
But yeah,
Because I think the only reason he was able to handle him at that in the second season was simply just because of how many fingers he was given.
how many were there? Like,
It was definitely more than 10.
I think our dude actually had like 15 prepped, and Yuji at that time probably had like 4 or 5. So it was like 20 finger ish stuff, but also like he has like 4 arms. So like
I don't. Yeah, I don't
like
think it's 20. Because if it was 20, he'd have everything.
right. So I have to like double check on like how many fingers are there.
I think it's supposed to be like. I think 15 might be the total number
Yeah.
that
Anyway,
he has
he
currently.
definitely had a lot like prepped up. And I guess I'm kind of wondering like I guess all that was transferred later on, you know. Every single finger as far as the count because he's way too strong like in present
Yeah.
time. So, yeah, he probably still
In
has it.
present the only reason he's as strong as he was is because of his plotting.
Yeah, he was actually he had I actually have to commend that too.
He's evil, but he's also very intelligent
Yeah, I guess he has to be too.
to get away with all the shit that he's gotten away with. Oh, absolutely, you got to be
Yeah,
very smart.
honestly, like the way that he unfolds his plan, and you see, you're like, oh, that's what he wanted to do in the first place. Not only did he see potential in another one of them, he was plotting that point forward what he wanted to do.
He said,
Because
"I'm gonna keep my eye on you."
yeah, he and it's so interesting because despite that, like it's kind of a given that if he stayed with like if he has like Yuji as the host, he would never be able to surface unless that type of agreement like happens. Um, and I still don't really understand Yuji's like core character to be able to resist that, but obviously can't use Yuji
Oh, there's definitely something deeper with Yuji.
for sure.
We
So
all know there's something deeper with Yuji. We're just waiting for it to
yeah,
be seen.
right. It's interesting
Well,
with Yuji.
we already kind of know like not exactly. We know a little bit because obviously, like it's basically implied he's half human, half curse.
Yeah, it's implied like that because circumstances are kind of weird with that one.
Well, I mean, it's like because Chojo is the same way.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
Technically brothers.
Yeah, I guess that's why that happened. Because like otherwise you won't really know. And you're like, why is he seeing them like that?
Yeah, it's like because technically they're cursed wombs essentially.
Cursed Wombs is a whole different like. I don't think they really talk too much about that, and hopefully they will soon. But like,
Yeah,
yeah.
because it's just that Chojo and Yuji are the most human looking out of them.
Mm. I hope the best for Yuji because he is our main protagonist, but he has like not really his own specific technique or innate technique. He is able to manipulate stuff, but usually like goes with his fist, which is great. But how's he deal with like other like problems here and there?
Yep. He's also got I mean it's shown he might be able to use the abilities of his brothers.
That'd be really sick. Um, I feel I always kind of clinged on to what Gojo said about him in the sense that like a lot of the Sukuna's abilities are kind of embedded with him. But he given now,
Could you imagine?
because I mean, if he learns severance and stuff like that, that'd be kind of sick. But
He just pulls out the shrine.
I mean, he hasn't done that. It'd be really cool if he could do that.
Instead of malevolent shrine, he just pulls out like just like sacred shrine or like or some type of like light side of the shrine.
Or I don't know, maybe it could just be the Fight Club. it's,
Fight Club.
it's just a whole. It's hundreds of Yujis like being on this guy at once. The jumping,
It's like you have
the
to,
jumping
like,
shrine.
it's like no like emitting cursed energy. Only you can only use cursed energy through your hands and feet.
Mm.
No, you can't shoot anything off. You just have to use the imbued energy and just go at it.
Well, the problem is that like several Yujis just jump like an individual. I would love it. That was his ability.
just a straight up cage match.
Literally, Yuji gets the best moments in the sense that like he literally gets to gang up on like another dude with like one of his fellow sorcerers who also proceeds to like close combat this dude.
Oh yeah, the jumpings in Jujutsu Kaisen.
You can honestly reference that like, hey, jump him like Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yo, they've said like, yo, bro, the jumpings in Jujutsu Kaisen are out of this world.
But yeah, all right. I think we'll have to probably wrap it up. It's been a fun talk, but ultimately, I think one, Gigi's not he's not safe. Second of all, Game Awards are coming up. Definitely looking forward to that. I still need to work on like a top tens list and make sure I have every single game listed. I only got the Switch ones like
He
listed
said
up.
DJ's not safe.
He's not safe. He's not safe at all.
Wait, are you saying he's gotta do a Horikoshi and watch his back? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm just putting it out there. Like until Toto arrives, like he's not safe.
He's like, bro, you haven't done anything wrong, Gigi. I'm just saying, you doing your story, bro. I'm just saying, well, watch out.
Yeah, he's really putting himself in Yuji's like situation right now.
but
Everything's
no,
against them.
some fans take that shit real, bro.
They really do. And then
Even though it's your choice, yeah, they gonna be mad about it.
listen, like there's some people get really attached, and I get that. It's why people feel so close about Nanami and like Nobara, but like, you know, he's
Chill.
chill. He's just making it work. Now, obviously, it's working.
You're definitely interested.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no. So we'll be resuming back next Saturday for sure. That'll probably be after everything's died down about like our talks and conversations. But yeah, no. Expect top tens like probably by next Friday. If not, maybe we'll go live on one of our respective channels on the Game Awards itself. So stay tuned for that. But now we'll just go ahead and call it here. Guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in for this episode of DangIT Prodcast. It's been episode 483. My name is Justin.
Fuck.
And thanks for watching, everybody. Hashtag bye, everyone.